My name is Marshall Bruff. I live in your neighborhood on 2985 East, and I'm the leader of our neighborhood emergency response team under the direction of the City of Cottonwood Heights. I have been doing this for several years, and I wish I knew all of you or that you knew me, but I have been to several of your homes. And over the past several years, we've tried each year leading up to the city's observance of the state of Utah's earthquake drill, referred to as the shakeout drill. We've tried to communicate with you, and we've left handouts at your home. But we're going to try something new, not just with those handouts, but something that will enable me to communicate more information with you and hopefully build some trust in you so that you can feel like you want to be a neighborhood volunteer to become part of our team. Our focus is preparing for an earthquake, but we think that if we can live up to that kind of a demand, that we can handle any of the other smaller demands that come along. So the purpose of talking to you through this medium is to announce that we're going to have a YouTube channel that we can use to provide training and guidelines to you. And we're using this also to train our team more effectively. And we will have a Facebook group, which will be a private group, but certainly you as residents will be admitted. And the purpose of that is to enable you to be alerted to the posting of new videos on the YouTube channel and to ask questions and engage in dialogue, not only with me, but other members of the team and other residents on the subject of emergency response. I'm also the coordinator for Neighborhood Watch, and you'll see some material on that subject. We would very much like to encourage some simple practices in that arena that we can use to help each other fend off some of the unwanted visitors that we seem to regularly have in Cottonwood Heights. So back to emergency response. I have recorded a video, which is an introduction or orientation or overview of the procedures that our emergency team will use to help you in your homes in the time of an emergency. That video is already uploaded to our YouTube channel, and you can certainly watch that if you'd like to. It refers to lots of forms and the way we back each other up. But the primary theme of all of that is that we want to be able to cover, in the case of an emergency like an earthquake, all 362 homes in our area. This is an area designated by the city as a precinct, but they decided several years ago to make these precincts agree with the boundaries of wards in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They didn't want to reinvent some kind of geographical divisions. And so they've, in our case, they've taken the boundaries of the Canyon Ridge Ward in the Salt Lake Butler Stake and made that the Canyon Ridge Precinct. And then the district that we belong to, which is the next level up in the structure, is the Butler District, coinciding with the Salt Lake Butler Stake. But the church is really involved in the recovery stage, or the recovery. They represent the recovery resource that we will turn to after we've done our first responder work. So right now I'm talking to you as a civilian volunteer under the direction of the city. And my objective is to convince you that we need your help. Pardon me, I didn't have my phone turned off. The objective, as I said, is to help everyone. The 362 homes in our area have been divided into 5 zones, and in each of those zones, there is a zone captain and 3 assistants. We have area status reporters who will go from home to home in the event of an emergency, and they will visit with you at your doorstep, really. And they will ask you what the impact has been upon you and your home structure, so that they can take note of injuries that need attention, damage to your home, interruption in electrical or gas service to your home. If we're in the winter or colder season, do you have an interruption in your heating? Do you have refrigeration? Do you have water? Do you have sewer service still working? Is your home structurally sound? And they will make note of those needs. With your concurrence, they will post a flag on your home. It's a color-coded flag to indicate the degree of personal injury impact upon your family members. And that color-coded designation will be passed on to the city so that they can make use of the public works employees and the fire and police resources to deal with the most critical of those needs. But it's likely that their ability to reach us will come in subsequent days or even weeks, because they will concentrate their resources on public buildings and places where large groups of people are congregated. So we're pretty much on our own initially. We're employing the CERT concept, but we're not waiting for everyone to become CERT trained. We are implementing a plan that has these area reporters who come to your home, inviting you, if you are both able-bodied and you're not required to stay at home with your family because of young children, because of elderly who need constant care. If you're physically able and you can free yourselves from duties in your home in the aftermath of that emergency, we're going to invite you to come to a central meeting place in your zone. That means it won't be more than the equivalent of a block, maybe at worst, a block and a half away from you. And at that central meeting place, the zone captain will take those of you who are able to volunteer. He will give you a briefing so that you know the safety rules, how to keep yourselves safe, and how to recognize things that are over your head and would require extra help. And then he will assign you to 2 or 3 person teams and send you back to the homes that have just been inventoried in your immediate neighborhood to see if you can offer help to your neighbors. They'll come with a form, they'll record what they do for you and things that they can't do for you. When they find that they're in over their heads and they need extra help, we will have a cadre of people who have had experience from our neighborhood as a whole, the 362 homes. We have over 20 people we've identified with building experience or experience in the medical profession. These are primarily nurses. Some of them are physician's assistants, and we'll ask those people to be our roving experts. We'll have radios that we will use to reach them, and we will call them to your home to offer the assistance that you as neighborhood volunteers are not able to handle. And A record will be made by you and those roving experts of what's accomplished. That will come back to the zone captain. He'll make a record of what's happened, and that will all be preserved to be handed off to the recovery team that I mentioned previously. Well, we'd like you to become more familiar with that process. So I'm going to create some videos that give you more of that detail. But that's not the important part. Yes, we're going to invite you to volunteer with us, but I'm going to create some videos that will help you to know what things you can do on a practical basis from day to day to accumulate things in your home or garage that will prepare you to be more effective. We'll talk, for example, about how impossible it is to work at night without a headlamp, and how important it will be to have some first aid supplies in your home that you could offer or work with yourselves as you volunteer. We'll talk about food and sanitation, but we're not going to make it a technical study. We're going to do things on a practical level that we think you can understand, and they'll be within both your technical reach and within your budget. I won't go further with the details. I just want to invite you to use the information on your handout that comes to your home to be able to ask to be admitted to our Facebook group, and also to utilize the YouTube channel to reference these videos. The invitation is sincere, but I know that we have to earn your trust. And so I'll conclude by saying, I have confidence in my neighbors, and you are my neighbors. And although I don't look forward to a disaster, I look forward to being able to work with you. And together we'll help each other, every one of the families that live within our area. Thanks for taking time to watch this.